he does have a great heart. And until Memorial Day, he was trying to make his way as an NBA analyst on this show, some on ESPN. He's got his podcast called All the Smoke with our man Matt Barnes, also that we have on the show occasionally. And he was making his way into a new career. And he was also continuing his playing career because he was playing in the Big Three at a very high level.
Yes.
So that was his life. And all of a sudden, on Memorial Day, something happened that changed the world. And it certainly changed Stephen Jackson's life.
Correct.
George Floyd got murdered on a video that we all saw again and again and again and again and again by a white cop in Minneapolis. Knee on neck. What was it, 4 minutes and 46 seconds?
8 minutes.
I'm sorry, 8 minutes and 46 seconds. It's the most excruciating piece of video I have ever been subjected to watching. And it changed, I think, all of our points of view. It opened a lot of white minds and hearts to your plight and your cause, and to Black lives must matter. I'm going to put an M in before the matter. Must matter. And fate tapped Stephen Jackson on the shoulder. Stephen Jackson had known George Floyd because he's from Port Arthur, spent time in Houston. George Floyd was from Houston, and they found that they looked so much alike, they looked like twins. They kidded each other, we must have had the same daddy. And they started calling each other twin.
Correct.
And all of a sudden, George gets murdered on Memorial Day, and Stephen finds himself in the national spotlight as, wait a second, I feel like I've been chosen. I'm going to have to go to Minneapolis, which he did. He stayed in Minneapolis for, I believe, about a month. We had him on the show a couple times from there. And he began to actually be George Floyd. He was actually standing in for George Floyd. He began to do interviews countrywide. I saw him on Good Morning America, Today Show, all over CNN. He became a national voice, speaking literally for his quote-unquote twin. And now I want to put his life in perspective. Remember, something that happened to our man Stephen Jackson when he was 16 in Port Arthur, Texas. His 23-year-old half-brother got jumped and beaten to death, and Stephen was not there for him. And he'll tell you to this day, that's his biggest regret in life. I wasn't there to fight for him and defend him. So at heart, he is a defender by nature.
Absolutely.
If you're his guy, he's going to fight for you. He'll be there. He will be there. And he will fight to the death for you. So what happened that night, what became known as the Malice in the Palace, Indiana at Detroit. Ron Artest goes up in the stands to get even with the guy who threw a cup of Coke on him or whatever it was. And who's first to his side? Who flew into the picture? Stephen Jackson.
That's not even his fight. But he ran there.
He flew into the picture up in the stands and with fists flying. He is going to be there for his man, Ron Artest. And it cost